Did a sandwich start World War One? It was the great flashpoint of the 20th century, an act that set off a chain reaction of calamity. 2 world wars, 80 million deaths, the Russian Revolution, the rise of Hitler, the atomic bomb. Yet, it might never have happened had Gavrilo Princip not got hungry for a sandwich. So today we're going to discuss, did a sandwich actually contribute to the start of World War One? This is the story of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The murder that set the crumbling Austro-Hungarian Empire on a collision course with Serbia and Europe down the slippery slope that led to the outbreak of the First World War a month after Princip pulled the trigger on June 28th, 1914. It is said that if Princip had not stopped to eat a sandwich, where he did, and that was in a cafe, he would never have been in the right place to spot his target. No sandwich, no shooting, no war. And as we know, his target was the Archduke Ferdinand. So here is the story. It is the summer of 1914 and Bosnia has just become part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. A handful of young Bosnian-born Serbs decide to strike a blow for the integration of their people into a greater Serbia by assassinating the heir to the Austrian throne. Their opportunity comes when it is announced that Franz Ferdinand will be making a state visit to the provincial capital, Sarajevo. So these young Serbs are armed with bombs and pistols supplied by the Serbian military intelligence. 7 conspirators position themselves at intervals along the Archduke's route. The first conspirator decides that he can't go through with it as the open top car approaches. Further down the route stands Nedeljko Kabrinovic. He is the first to strike. So at this point in his life, he is suffering from TB and he wants to carry this out. This will be his final mission. He lobs a hand grenade towards Franz Ferdinand's open touring car, but the grenade is an old one with a 10-second fuse. It bounces off the limo and into the road, where it explodes under the next vehicle in the motorcade. Although several officers in that car are hurt, Franz Ferdinand remains uninjured. So to avoid capture, Kabrinovic drains a vial of cyanide and throws himself into a nearby river. But this suicide bid fails. The cyanide is past its sell-by date and the river is just 4 inches deep. The bombing throws the rest of the day's plans into disarray. The motorcade is abandoned. Franz Ferdinand is hurried off to the town hall where he is due to meet with state officials. He delivers his intended speech and decides to attend the hospital. And in this hospital, they are treating the victims of the earlier attack. So after the failed assassination, the remaining would-be assassins disperse. Their chance apparently gone. One of them, Gavrilo Princip, heads for Moritz Schiller's Delicatessen. This is the cafe I was mentioning earlier on Franz Joseph Street. It's one of Sarajevo's smarting shopping destinations, just a few yards from the bustling through road known as Apple Quay. As Princip queues to buy a sandwich, Franz Ferdinand is leaving the town hall. when the heir gets back into his limousine, though, he decides on a change of plan. He wants to call at the hospital to visit the men injured in the grenade blast, as I mentioned earlier. There's just one problem. The Archduke's chauffeur, a stranger to Sarajevo, gets lost. He swings off Apple Key and into crowded Franz Joseph Street, then drifts to a stop right in front of Schiller's. So the chauffeur apparently wasn't too familiar with the route. He was just a new chauffeur, but I do find it quite suspicious how he happened to just stop at that precise moment and precise spot, because he was supposed to drive on, but he turned right, and apparently his car stopped and it also stalled as well. So there could be more into that, but that's for another day. So anyway, so Princip looks up from his lunch, astonished to find his target sitting just a few feet away. He pulls his trusty pistol. 2 shots ring out. The first shot kills Franz Ferdinand's wife, Sophie. She is shot in the stomach. The second hits the heir in the neck, severing his jugular vein. The Archduke slumps back, mortally wounded. His security men hustle Princip away. Inside Schiller's deli, the most important sandwich in the history of the world lies half-eaten on a table. So from this leads to the start of the World War I. A month later, because all the Allies get into a bit of a war, and that will be for the next episode. So if you found this interesting, please like, share, comment. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.